All right, good evening. My name is Vinnie Gallagher, I'm chairman of the zoning board for Mount Hope. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We make sure we silence all electronic devices, and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Our secretary, did you, Linda, did you have any correspondence for our board?
No.
Okay. Minutes from last meeting? Give a chance to review?
Yep.
Can I get a motion to?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Bob and Mary? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. So first, we have the resolution for Mr. Shang. At this point, do you want me to read through the resolution?
There it is. Yep, there it is.
I don't think we have to read through it.
Not read the whole thing. Not yet.
So this was a resolution that was discussed at the last meeting. I'll give you guys a good chance.
Well,
to read it.
actually, yeah, when you're done, you have to sign it.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Give a chance to review it.
Yeah, I already read it.
So this is a resolution to approve a request for setback for an accessory building. Have a motion to accept the resolution as drafted.
Okay. Yep.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're good. Same, Bob and
You just
Mary.
have to sign them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
both copies.
All signed.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have Oya Pine Grove Road. Anybody here for Oya? Okay. Just make sure that microphone is on, if you don't mind.
That's the turn of it. It's on, right?
Yep, sounds like it is.
Need to sign in anywhere or no?
No. Just state your name if you don't mind.
Okay, my name is Pete Dulvis. I'm here for the Oya Pine Grove Road Solar Project. We had, I'm new to coming to these meetings. Somebody else had attended in the past. They were here a couple of months ago, I believe. You know, and we had some open items from the minutes from the last meeting or the meeting back in August. I submitted a memo regarding, there was an open question in the minutes we wanted to clear up regarding the effect on the solar project if the setbacks, the setback variance was not granted. So I think you had the memo, right? You've seen the memo that came over?
Yes.
So I just wanted to go through that, you know, that if the question, the open question was how much would the project be affected, and it is 30%, you know, 30% of the constructed size of the project would be affected, provided the statistics, the layouts in the back to show what it is. That's really all the new information that we have to present here. I didn't think there were any other items open from the prior meeting. So if there were any things that I missed, or there's anything open or any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or, you know, discuss this short memo that was submitted.
Yeah, I have a question in regards to the pink hash area
Yeah.
that is in that particular memo. So in both Exhibit A and Exhibit B, the solar array, the panels specifically, are not located in the, I'll call it the southern west side of the diagram there. But
Yeah.
it's still a pink hash mark.
Yeah, the Exhibit A showed the array as it is situated with the arrays, you know, the pink hash mark covers the arrays. And the second page just simply shows those same arrays removed.
Okay.
As if you, so the first page, Exhibit A, is if the setback is the variance is granted, that's what the array would look like. The second page, Exhibit B, removes the rows, you know, from being shown, and it's that pink hash mark that they're either in or out.
Excuse me, so the first page is Exhibit A. doesn't show it being moved.
That is correct. It just shows the proposed project with the rows that are affected, highlighted in the pink hatch.
And the second page shows it being moved.
Yes, it's the same design, but that one actually physically shows the rows being removed, you know, for visual, if you needed to look at it either way.
You mean Pete, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the area I'm talking about is this area here, that's just to the left of where, on Exhibit A, you guys have panels.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no arrays over in that area. It's the red circle part. If you
Yep.
look at the page, if you look at the Exhibit A, it's only where the arrays are. So that part there that you were looking at, going out to the west or to the left, there's no arrays in that area. There's nothing proposed in that area. To the south of the buildings, the structures.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know why was it hashed in pink?
I do not know, other than they probably just went all the way around the whole thing because they said rear setback line, right? And they put the rear setback line and they just hashed it the entire way across the rear setback. But there's no panels over there. There's no modules over there.
There's no plans for panels?
No, no, not
It's
at all.
not Project 2.0, right?
There's nothing planned for over there.
Yeah, that was my question, right? So what we had seen was the two pieces that you had divided by that creek bed, or the road, whatever that is. But then these maps have this additional piece off to the left, and that's what.
There's nothing to the left. That hash mark is there to show the setback or the request. But there's no panels south of those buildings.
Got it.
So I believe that was the only question that was lingering from the last meeting that I just wanted to make sure was put in front of you.
Well, I have a couple questions for you. Just
Yep.
in plain English, I understand that you're saying a 30% reduction. Now, reduction in what?
Well, if you look at the chart on the first page, it's a 30% reduction in panels, it's a 30% reduction in the total capacity size of the project.
And which means what for the community? They get 30% less of what?
Well, there would be, if you just stick to the ratios, there's 30% less electricity produced by the project that will go into the grid
Okay.
and be available for customers that are signed up.
And does that mean, is that 30% a figure that you would consider to be the project is a failure or just less effective or what? You tell us.
The loss of 30% of the project, but I guess you're gonna have to define what you look at as failure. We're looking at it as
That's what I'm asking you to do.
financially feasible when you take 30% of the project away and you look at some of the costs that are involved, the interconnection costs and mobilization costs and other things. It makes the project somewhat uneconomical to put up at all.
Okay, because I don't see that here. There's no explanation of that. I mean, that's why I'm asking the question. I mean, so basically what you're saying is the project would be a failure in that.
It would be difficult to move forward, and we'd have to go back to, look at some of the economic aspects of it to move forward with it, yes.
That sort of brings up my next question. I mean, as you're aware, a ZBA anywhere has the power to grant partial variances. I don't see any calculation here as to what happens if the ZBA, instead of granting you the whole variance, grants you a 50% variance. That obviously would increase the capacity, right?
Well, if you denied it completely, but, they would decrease it by 30%.
Okay.
If you approved it 50% of what we were asking, then we would lose 15%.
So
That's
if there's a direct proportion then.
Yes, for the most part, it could be a little bit off, but it's not gonna be much, because when you draw the line and you look at how the arrays get cut off, they may get cut off in different spots. But yes, it would be pretty close to proportional from what you're looking at.
All right, so at what point then is the project a failure if the ZBA grants a partial variance?
I don't have that answer for you right now.
I think that's an important question.
And we've asked for these answers, right? So in the past, we've asked at what point is this uneconomical? And we asked if you were to size the system such that it was within the setback requirements, what would the capacity be? And the answer was, well, you cut it in half, 50%. And now you're here today telling us just 30%.
Yes, that-
And
my
my impression from what you just said too, to the attorney was that, there's a chance it could work, but, it's not favorable, right?
it is, for our company, it will likely not be favorable. And that would mean, that, when you look at economics or financial results with other developers, they may have different things that they're looking at. But, yeah, if the variance were not granted, it is an extremely difficult project to push through and move forward. So if you're looking at financial, results, when you ask what the effective is, we don't generally put numbers out there and say, here's what, the project was worth here, or, a lesser number from financial. But if you're asking from an economical, I can provide the energy, you have the capacity here for the project, total kilowatt hours or whatnot, and you can go through the energy rates and show the revenues and whatnot, but you'd still need to see, aside from that, all the additional costs, that, are inherent to the project, interconnection costs, mobilization costs, and all the development costs. There were already some costs.
Yeah, so I think that's what we need some feedback on, is what's the financial impact? We've suggested many times over these, I think this is the third time we've had representatives from the organization here. Can we provide some sort of setback, not full, where it'd be amenable to you guys, where it'd be something where you would be able to push this project through, and there was absolutely no,
Well,
give on that. It was all or nothing, right?
it is a very tight project to get done. And if you look at the exhibit, if you look along the east side, where the town property line is, and I think you're aware there's a solar project on the other property,
Sure.
right? So that setback, for the landowner's perspective, our perspective, granting that one is the larger one, or the larger impact, as you can see along the side. If you're looking at the south property line, if we lost some additional, or if you granted a partial over there, you're almost looking at that part that's circled. It's tough to squeeze in there, so you lose that whole bottom piece over there. I would probably say, if you asked me, the south side, south of it, if we didn't get the full variance, it's not as bad as not getting the one on the east side. But, we're not asking for the variance on the west, to the north, we didn't ask for anything there, but, yes, the one on the east side of the project would be difficult to move forward. And, outside of what we're talking about, impact, you have more dead space between that project and the other project. It's the same landowner, it's got dead area in between.
Sure. Yeah, this is a very different conversation than we've had between you.
Yeah, I'm aware who was here before, and they said the 50%, and, they discussed it with me, and they didn't have a diagram like this or anything. I believe they just threw out 50%, and he said, I'll have to go back and check, but yes, the 50% loss is not, a 50% loss, and you see it on the chart there. But the 30% loss, like I said, is still a large hurdle to overcome.
Do you have more questions?
No, that's really it. I think we need
Yeah, so I think I'm interested in understanding more what that financial impact is, and at what point we could consider something lesser than the 90% reduction, more than 90% reduction in setback, right? You're going from 130 feet down to 10 feet.
Correct, on that
east
east
side,
side,
And
yes.
150 down to 30.
On the south
South
side,
side.
yes, in that small area in the back corner there, yeah.
So, if we would you consider just the east side and remove the south provision?
I said that one would be easier to overcome. And I do have to go back and just confirm everything. The variance on the east is more important than the one on the south.
Yeah, our board wants to work with you, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, you know, it's important for us to make sure we're upholding the zoning that's here and protecting the neighbors that are here, and there's homes right in the south side of this. So I wanna make sure that we're giving you the opportunity to consider all angles to move this project forward, and at the same time be prudent in making sure that we're doing what we need to do as a board to represent the town. Mary, you have anything?
No, I think you asked. I was concerned about it all.
We got, the maps that we have from you guys, and they have the, Julie, there's more homes on the south side of this, right? How close are they to,
They're gonna be pretty close, you know.
do you recall how, the houses were on there too? Sorry, no.
We spread out, we got work.
Yeah, right.
So,
Most of these don't include just south coast.
so they have mechanical roofs.
They're probably about 50 feet from the
Okay.
property line, because I think that's what the,
On the south side?
I think that's what the setback is.
Because there's, in Dorado, there's a couple of homes right across from there. On Vampireville. And then there's, Albany homes.
Right,
Yeah,
everybody
but
else has here, so I'd be curious, so on the south side, if you guys can expand the map to show,
You got unlimited there this way.
Well,
Just-
and here's the thing, because those houses sit up and the land in the back goes back, they're gonna see like all of that, so I don't know how you, you know. They just bought a brand new house, you know what I mean, that's why we have 100-foot setbacks. With shrubberies and things and plans for that kind of stuff. And, plus they have to keep the fence, they have to keep 10 feet on the inside for access around the entire thing by code. So,
okay,
if you drove up on that road and seen like where Stoneworth Farm starts and where that last house for Equities Homes is, you'd have an idea if you look down, like what the view would be. I thought you would ask them to provide that, view for you, didn't you?
We did ask that we could.
And did they do the balloon thing and,
Are you talking about the homes along the road?
so the south side,
Pine Grove, yeah.
Yeah.
Green Grove?
Yeah,
Yeah,
along,
the houses
off
are-
Pine Grove Road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Equity
I thought you would
Homes,
ask
you
for
have
that.
identified, it's not on the, on the real
No,
map.
no.
So for the audience, on the south side on this, we have Equity Homes, and I think there's a fair amount of new homes that are being built, or built on the south side down here. Just curious where they are, because this map cuts that off. In contrast to,
No,
Just southernmost
okay,
piece.
I thought they were all on the road, but I might be off.
yeah, Equity Homes is here, so there's new homes that were built down here.
Okay.
Question, is the town of Walk Hill piece a separate project, or is this all encompassed in one?
No, it's a separate project.
So, if that one is approved, okay, they're gonna have the same view anyway, because they're gonna be looking over to the town of Walk Hill property.
I would say yes, I mean,
Yeah.
they are in different spots, so if you.
Correct,
feel-
yeah.
But yes, that project has been approved,
Okay.
and it's completely separate. one of the other, items we're just trying to sort out, as we had sent the memo in, was regarding like the sequence of meetings with the planning board getting their, neg deck, moving forward, along with moving forward with the zoning board at the same time. So it sounds like we're, I need to get you things for the next meeting that you're asking for. You wouldn't be able to schedule a public hearing just to keep things moving while I get that information to you, right, that would be November, beginning of November? For the zoning board, that is,
Right, so.
just to keep it moving.
I think there's unanswered questions. I apologize, but I wish honestly you had represented before, because I think we could have asked these, or had answers to these questions.
Okay.
I don't know.
And this is, it's primarily, it's the homes and the maps, you're fixing the map that you said, the economics of the project.
Mhm.
And just and again, a discussion of if there's a lesser variance, what's the effect on the project?
Yeah, I'd be
Because that's certainly a
curious.
question that the neighboring homeowners are gonna ask.
Right.
If it's not so close to me, does it really make the project impossible? Does it kill them?
How far does the Wallkill side panels come down, Pete? In contrast to this, right? So does those panels, do they come all the way down in here?
I am pretty sure they come, for the most part, that as far, yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of designs floating in my head, so I can't, but it's pretty much right next to it, here for the distance. I don't really have anything else, I don't know if you have anything else.
Yeah, Michael Buncardo with Harston Russ, representing the applicant here. I would just revoice that suggestion just to move the process along, to explore the possibility of a public hearing next month. It does seem, although there are some pending questions, the general character of the project has been established. Essentially, we're requiring the applicant to propose every single possible variance between what they've demanded and what may eventually be arrived at by the board, and then potentially kicking back the public hearing process a month. I know it's been rather delayed even up to this point. And not all of that has been a result of appearances in front of this board here. I know there were also some miscommunications between the previous applicant, the planning board, and the ZBA regarding the process of both the various applications and the review of the planning board as far as their role as lead agency under seeker. I would push for some kind of arrangement where perhaps the applicant could submit materials answering the questions raised at this meeting on an acceptable time frame that would still allow the public hearing to be held next month.
Yeah, and I respectfully hear you, however, OYO was on the agenda last month, and nobody represented that you guys, last month, right? And these outstanding questions aren't unique or new. It was admitted that, yeah, we didn't ask what kind of impact there would be if we had to scale this back to make it within the setback requirements. We were told 50%, and here today we hear it's 30%, right? So we are very curious, what the economic impact is, and at what point could you scale this back where maybe we could, work with you guys and it still be economical, and at the same time, not more than a 90% reduction in the setbacks that currently exist there. So I think in fairness to the public, right, in order to answer those questions and have them, have a chance to review them, I'm terribly poised to move this quickly forward.
No, I agree with you.
I agree.
And that's kind of why I asked about Wallkill. I know there's certain fixed cost to the total project, and that's why I said, I know you're treating it as two separate, but I'm sure a lot of fixed costs you're doing is one project?
Well, I guess if you just look at it from a
Economic
common
sense.
sense point, from
Yeah.
economics, if we could build two projects next to each other at the same time,
Yeah.
save on,
Sure.
on items, if they build one now and one a year from now, there's a difference, but the economics for the energy produced
Mhm.
is not going to be affected from
Not
one
material.
or the other. Yeah, it's, other than your some development costs, your interconnection costs for each and your construction costs, the actual energy production, you know, it's,
Mhm.
they're both producing, you know, proportionately the same.
Anything? Okay.
No.
Anything from you, Mr. Engineer?
No, I did just look, it's about 70 feet to the adjoining house that's just been built.
So considering setback requirements that they're trying to request,
To the south.
on the south side would be 70 feet to
It'd be
yours.
about 80 feet total, so that's under the actual setback that's required of 100 plus the. And just, it's the applicant's job to provide this or to analyze this, but just from a constructability standpoint, the arrays that are to the south that are in question are separated from the arrays to the north. So there's some cost to connecting those to the remaining portion that is gonna be borne by the applicant to add those arrays that if they were removed would have maybe less of an impact than if arrays that are directly connected to the rest of it. I think you get what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah.
Where's the inverters coming?
Yeah, that,
Is this the area talking? Yeah, so it's
the roads coming in, I
Yeah.
guess they didn't put them on here, they should be near the middle of the project.
there.
I'll get a clearer picture, you know, for you.
Yeah, that's what Jason's suggesting,
Right.
is that, yeah, you'd have to run.
Okay. Something to connect it to. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I mean, that, I mean, I see the separation there that you're looking at, I mean, it's wiring.
There's no inverters down there?
No, there wouldn't be any down there, but I'll put a clearer picture together, a clearer diagram together.
Yeah, it looks like they're at the terminus of that internal roadway, right? Because there's some
Yeah.
text there that's not legible, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming that says inverter pad.
They need a three-line road.
What?
They need a three-line road.
Yeah.
That's where they would generally be, I can't read it either.
Yeah.
It's hopeful.
Let's try it.
Okay.
If I could interject, just in the interest of setting expectations clearly, could we just obtain a recap of the pending questions that the board has so we can prepare appropriate responsive materials?
Yeah, so, at what point is the project uneconomical? So considering what alternative setbacks would allow this project to become economical, and where it's not gonna be end of life because we're scaling back too far from the arrays you guys have. We'd like to see a bit more of the southern side of that, Pete, off of the southern piece of the array, to understand the impacts of the homes. It sounds like Jason confirmed it's about 80 feet to those homes.
What do you want to see more of? I'm sorry.
The southern side of the project,
Southern side of the project. okay.
Include the homes that
to
are.
include the homes that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, add the homes and add the distances.
Yeah.
It'd be helpful to see the size of the town of Wallkill array, to see that footprint in contrast to what you're requesting. How big was that array, do you know?
It's bigger than this one.
I was gonna say, I thought it was
Yeah.
bigger than this one.
I don't remember the exact number, but it's bigger than this one.
Okay. And then, do you wanna just confirm that the inverters the conversion.
Yeah, they're usually at the end of the road, but if they need to be somewhere else, you know, we could work on that, but they're in the middle of the project.
Right, so if we were to, if you remove that bottom piece, I didn't think there were any inverters down there, but that would become an
Yeah,
issue.
there would be no inverters down at the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful that if we can remove that bottom piece, sort of what Jason's saying, you know, you're gonna reduce the expansion, right? Maybe it doesn't impact it so much that it sinks the project. Is there anything else, Alex?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, I think I had it all.
I think there's one outstanding invoice or something too, right?
Yeah, here's an invoice.
And Linda, do you need a new address to be sending
Oh,
bills?
yeah.
The only thing I would add is that, you know, in terms of viability, it's somewhat self-imposed, because the area forward of, let's call it to the west, is available for them to use, for their use. It's the property owner that's restricting that use, not the board.
Right.
We've asked previously if we can go out there and view it, is that,
To walk the
To-
property?
or look at it and look and see what the area is?
Yeah, if you need to go out there, I just need to let them know that you're going out, send somebody to walk it with you. I don't think the perimeter is all flagged at the current point. But yeah, if you need to go out there, like, not from the road, right, like walk the
Yeah,
property.
go on to the project.
Yeah, just let me know, just let me know what works and if you can arrange that.
You need a valid address.
All right.
Yeah, the secretary needs an
Linda?
official address from on
Thank you. Even if you just give a couple options and then,
Okay.
What'd you say, Mary?
a couple different options of when we could go out there and walk it.
Options to look it. And we need a valid address.
I told him, Linda.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm waiting for the landowner to sign some of the things that we were asked to sign, he just hasn't gotten notarized. But I think I emailed over your contact information, but I'll send it again tomorrow.
No, you didn't email me anything.
Irrespective of ownership, this drawing set that was provided to the planning board, I believe, is done by PWGC.
They're still working on this.
Who prepared this drawing here?
This drawing was prepared internally by our construction team off the plans that they're working with PW Grosser.
Okay.
I mean, if you need it, stamped or with the PW Grosser box on it, I'll put it on.
No, it's just that some of the information appears different, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, I will recheck it, but part of it was also the request to say, how much it's affected. So you could change the row size a little bit, see what you could squeeze in, but I will match it up.
Okay. Because, again, it's very hard to read, but what I'm seeing here is wetland flagging that goes along a portion, like basically right through here on this drawing. And that's not represented on the drawing that's been provided to us. It says a portion of wetlands, and then the rest of it is, I can't read it again at this, so. If this drawing was prepared by the same group, the information that is on this should also be on the full set that's been provided to us as well. So there's some inconsistencies between the sets here.
Okay.
Is there wetland concern here?
Well, so that's the thing, on these drawings, that's not indicated, but on this smaller drawing, it is indicated. And, these are not what I would consider engineering drawings, these were supposed to be demonstrative for the capacity, if I'm,
Correct.
yeah, so, but if those exist, they should be represented on the engineering plans and site plans as well.
Because we have our floodplains through there.
There's floodplain from the Schwangenkill, yes.
Yes.
That is further into, it looks like the middle or Wallkill property. But this
We
seems,
do have the DEC scheduled to come out, or the site visit to come out October 8th, I think.
October 8th to
Yeah.
do the JD.
Yeah, to come for the site visit, it's very difficult, they push dates, but that's what it's tentatively scheduled for.
Okay. So, I mean, again, I think, without seeing that and having that JD too, I don't know that there's, you know, good reasoning behind having a public hearing if it could change the project. Because the DEC would have a buffer area for the wetland, and what's been represented is that they're federal wetlands. So that's important to know as well.
Do you ever have a wetlands map with you?
Do I know? I mean, I could certainly send one over.
Yeah, I'd be curious the overlay. Yeah, and there's a home that's should be in the picture. That's there now.
Based on the scale?
Yeah. Google Maps has it, so there's a home that's immediately south.
Yeah.
Yeah, the driveway is right up, the hammerhead is like right up near the property.
So this array it's gonna be positioned,
Right there.
yeah, I mean, right in their backyard. All right,
Okay, I don't have anything else.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else? Jason, anything else?
No,
Linda? Anything else? Mary?
No.
Motion to adjourn?
Yep, that's first, second. All right.
Mary and Bob?
What's easier?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No one. Thank you.
So you didn't ask if anyone in the public wanted to,
We don't have it as an agenda item, but
you don't, okay.
yes, sir.
I was told it was. It was September 17th.
What's that? I'm sorry.
On September 17th, I was here.
For the
That
planning
young lady
board,
over there, what's your name, ma'am?
Linda?
Linda. Yes.
Linda?
She told me, and so did you, sir, what's your name? Jack?
Alex,
Alex.
well, I told you there would be a
You
public
can come
hearing
forward.
sooner or later.
Right.
I didn't
You
say,
said to
I
come
didn't say
October
today.
1st. You guys told me October 1st.
You can come on up.
Look, I'm not here starting trouble.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no,
You know,
So normally there's not a public,
yeah.
there's no comment.
there's no comment period, so
Okay.
we will declare a public hearing period, and then, which sounds like it'll probably end up being December at this point, and then. you
Okay,
get-
so that's fine. That's just not what I was told when I was here.
No,
Yeah,
he
definitely
spoke at the planning board.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and then stuff that was coming out that my wife is sending me from you guys, and nothing's really on the same level here. Because, you know, you had said, I told you it said 7 o'clock, I'm sorry, 7:30, which you guys started at 7 o'clock.
That
If I
was the
didn't get-
planning board, but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is the zoning board.
No, I know that, so you guys all told me, come October 1st, is you have to, you guys told me you have to come to the ZBA. Here I am, and you said there's another one November 1st.